carpenter's son with a message. They didn't like the message. And what my psychology professor would have said, I think he would have looked at this as jealousy. And the way he defined jealousy was love, fear, hate, and anger. And I think if you think about it a little bit, the people loved their customs. They loved what the rabbi said to them. They had heard that for years, and they were comfortable with it. And they feared what Jesus was saying. That was not what they wanted to hear. And they probably hated him for it. He had overturned things in their life that had to do with their faith, and they were not the least bit happy about it. And along with that hate came the anger. And anger, everything from who does he think he is to why should I listen to him? So Jesus, as we know, came out and said, prophets are not without honor except in their hometown, among their own kin, and in their own house. And no offense to those I'm about to mention, you might understand the part of in your own house if you've ever had a toddler or a teen. When you walk in that door and you have something wonderful to tell them, you get the look. And then when you get the look at toddler, and then again you see it for the first time as the teen, you wonder what mirror did they practice that look over the past 10 years. So it was so disruptive to Jesus. There were so few people that would listen to him. He could not do many deeds. He could not help many. There was a few sick people, and he cured them. And he was amazed at their unbelief, because he was bringing the good news to them, and they wanted nothing to do with it. So he called the 12 together, and he began to send them out. And as we heard in the gospel lesson, he told them what to take with them and what not to take with them. And imagine in our lives, you cannot take your faith. And a few other things, the keys to your house, can't take any money either. And you have to really pray that someone likes you when you get to that next town. But I thought it was interesting when the disciples were told, if you get to a house and they are not interested in hearing anything you have to say, you don't need to keep trying to say no. It's okay to say, all right, and leave. And shake off yourself what my mother would have said, the heebie-jeebies, and then go on to the next place. When they are accepted, I am sure it was a very good feeling. And I'm also thinking that it was a very good feeling when Jesus gave them the power to serve, to heal, and to cast off demons. One of the things with going in pairs, even back into Deuteronomy, you will find that if you wanted to take your cause of someone being hurt about something, and you had to have 2 witnesses, one person didn't count. You had to have 2 people. So that probably was part of it, but another part of it was Jesus had just found out very difficultly what it was like to be the only one standing there and no one next to him going, it's okay. So I think we can all imagine going somewhere without those things that make us feel comfortable. I want someone with me, and I suspect y'all would too, because Jesus and God know that when one of us doesn't have the right connection with someone, that the other person might. So we have been given the gifts and talents to go out and do what we know and feel that God has given us. And we are not judged for going past them. One thing I want to share with all of you is this week, 9 years ago, I got paired up. And I was paired up with St. Paul's Episcopal Church. And I want to thank you all for being my supporter, being beside me, supporting me, correcting me, and doing all the things you have done with me. And we'll continue that, by the way. I want you to remember that God's guidance is there. Perfection is not something that God expects from us. And remember too, Jesus walked into a place, was humiliated, and he left. He left to go and spread the word of the good news with others. And I suspect he continued to pray for those that he had just left. I look forward to having y'all continue to be the other part of the pair. And I hope you will go forth and be who you are, showing God through who you are, using your gifts and talents, and not being afraid to keep going if you're not accepted. Jesus has gone through it, and we can too. Thanks be to God. Amen.